G'day everyone, welcome back. As you may have seen by the title, this is my first ever workshop tour, 2021, starting the year off right. If you're just new, I'd really appreciate it if you go check out my other videos as well as this, which is more project focused. And you can see me learning to blacksmith and bladesmith, as well as some other woodworking stuff, which I'm a little bit more experienced at, and hoping to get into that a little bit more this year as well. And that said, I also really appreciate the support that I've got lately. I've recently just hit 200 subscribers, which is really crazy, as I've just reached 100 as a challenge for December last year. So thank you so much everyone who's joined recently. I very much appreciate it. And with that said, please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and let's get into this tour. Okay, so looking in, I just have a small single bay garage as a workshop that I work out of, and we'll come in here, start from the left and work around. So this is my lathe here. I believe it's a Jet mini lathe. This is my brother and I's lathe, which we've had for 7 or 8 years now, I think. Works really nicely, and yeah, I don't know, you've seen me use it. Go check out some of those projects. I've got it sitting on this old cupboard here. I'm not exactly sure where that was from, old family or something. I got my lathe tools here, which I'm planning to make a better stand for this, or a bigger rack to go maybe on the wall or something like that. In the first drawer, I've got some lathe stuff there hanging about, but also I've got some carving stuff here, which was, if not the first, one of the first things that got me into woodworking as a little kid, and that's great, and I really want to get into a bit of that and show you on the channel a bit. Haven't done it for a while. The drawer below that, I keep some of my bit better timbers, so I've just got an offcut of Western red cedar there that I use for a box. Got some white beech, gelatin, some merbau, bits and pieces like that, which I keep in there. Below, I just found this box while cleaning up, and in here I've put all my kind of blacksmithing stuff, so I can kind of just grab it and go. As if you don't know, I blacksmith kind of across the yard a bit, 15 or 20 meters away, near our farm shed, which I'm blessed to have enough space to do that. Sorry, just mind the dogs there. Moving on here, I've just got a little wheelie shop stool, which is really useful. Not the most comfortable, but it's really good. I've got 2 plastic bins, which I got to store my kind of medium length dowels and thin bits of wood like that, scraps and all of that, which hopefully stores it well. Just got a shop bin. Along here, I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it's like a wardrobe organizer maybe. This is where I keep my little bit bigger, more square bits of scraps that I think I could still use. So I've got the drawers sorted out a little bit. Down the bottom, a bit larger bits. Up the top, a little bit smaller bits. A little bit, I like to keep the smaller bits of more, I guess, exotic materials there as well. Moving on up, as you may have seen in my most recent video, I recently hung this cupboard on the wall there using cleats, and this was just standing right basically where I'm standing in the middle of the workshop. It's really freed up a lot of space and it's looking nice now. If I open the doors up, I've got good access there. I'm not exactly sure what channel I got this idea off of. I'm sure it's not unique, but I got a bunch of these clear plastic boxes and organized different equipment, I guess by genre would be a good way of putting it. So up the top here, this is kind of automotive slash kind of, I guess, machinery, kind of garden stuff, maintenance in there. This is kind of just empty boxes there, spare part. Up the very top there, if I show you, that's some cast aluminium or aluminum, which I did a few years ago when I was doing that. Just got some scrap stuff in there. This box here is from a project I was doing a while ago. I was halfway through it. It was a larger Stirling engine. So I've already got a video of a really small little one that I made on the channel, one of my first videos. I actually really want to finish this. They're really cool little projects, little motors. Let me know if you want to say that. Next, coming along here, this pink box. This is where I keep kind of my bike stuff, like mountain bike stuff, so parts, fixes, things like that. Here I've got a bag of, it's just pine plane shavings, which I kept the other day. I've also got some wood chips up in there from the lathe. And what I use this for, or I'm going to use this for, which you may have noticed from my other videos, I like to do kind of product, nice B-rolls or whatever you might call it, at the end of my projects. And I like to use a background which might complement it, make it look a bit nicer. Coming across here, this is kind of my electrical box, wiring, strippers, things like that. Down here, as I was talking about earlier, this is some scrap aluminium, so cans and stuff which I was saving before. And this is an old fry pan, which I think I was also saving for the aluminium it's made out of. But that's kind of shoved in there at the moment. Yeah, so that's fairly organized. May change it though. If I come along now here, these are 2 cabinets. We've had them, I don't know, for ages, forever since this workshop was here. On top I've just put some toolboxes there. This top box here has medium lengths of a bit nicer bits of timber, so like some red cedar and stuff, and I've got a few jiggers on top there. This tall cabinet, this is where I like to keep my, I guess, chemicals. At the top I've got solvents, so I've got kerosene, terps, metho, degreaser, WD-40, all that type of stuff. Down here we've got spray paints, as well as some wood finishes and that type of thing. It's a little bit messy, but that's how it is. Down here, quite messy. I moved the cabinets around, but this is kind of my glues and adhesives. I've also got silicone, fillers, caulking, that type of stuff there. And down the bottom is kind of paints, house paints, that type of thing. So I think that's kind of nice to just keep away there. It's also a lockable door, which, you know, that really concerns me in this situation, but if you have little kids getting around, it's helpful. This big 2-door cabinet, I open it up. Again, a little bit messy, but organization is mostly the same. Up the top, it's just some kind of, I guess, older picture framing stuff from when we used to do that. As well as I keep my PPE here. Probably want a little bit better space to put that. That's more accessible. That's another picture framing type saw. I got my blowtorch and that. Down here I've got my set of chisels, bench chisels, my kind of hand tools that I use to plane and stuff. I just came in a set there. It's just Chinese made tools. Down below that I've got a bit nicer lathe chisels. They're my brother's. And over there just some general stuff. I've kept the manuals and warranties and stuff in a little container there of machines, which is helpful. Soldering iron, pyrography tool and stuff. What's that? Jigsaw. Just a box I made to put some old bits of tools in. I got a little sander back there with sanding pads here. And that's a little bit bigger sander, which you may have seen the pad broke on when I was trying to do the cabinet, which I need to get a part for. Down here I've got a router, Dremel tool, and some stuff from when I was doing the foundry. So I've got a crucible, tray, hairdryer, that type of thing. Just a cast iron skillet, which I use for shading veneer for marquetry with sand. Which is a cool thing which I want to show you sometime. It's that cupboard. Moving around here, we've got an access door into the house. As I should have probably told you earlier, this is a single bay garage, or a small one at that. As this used to be a 2 or 3 bay garage, and then we decided to convert that side into another room and connect it to the house. So we decided to keep a single bay out here to put some tools and things like that in. Just got a millet broom to keep the shop clean, clock with no batteries. And I also just put kind of my, I guess, metal things, scraps and bits in here. Not all scraps, obviously. I've got my 1084 bit of steel there for some knives and things I want to make. Copper, brass, music wire, bits and pieces like that. Coming around here to the workbench, which you've, I guess, recently been introduced with. Above that, in the last video you may have saw, I put these brackets up to store long lengths of timber. And that's looking good and working well for now. The peg, sorry, that's just the dog. The pegboard here, I need to reorganize it. Just got general tools that I use. Got 2 nice old saws here from my grandfather, I believe, and I've ground them to a ripping saw and cross-cutting saw, and as well as hammers, saws, that type of thing like that. I've got batteries charging over here, as well as one over there. Just 2 different things. I need to organize my fasteners into these containers and put them on the wall here. But as I said in the last video, the hardware store was out of the brackets. I've got a miter saw anvil thing I restored. Got a little stool there, which we just had. And down here in the cabinet, it's not the neatest, but I did reorganize it somewhat. I've got files here. I've got rulers, squares, that type of thing, pencils, tape measures, just the general stuff. Second drawer here, it's a little bit more miscellaneous. I got some hole saws, more rollers, blades, little drills, kind of plumbing fixtures, I guess. This drawer here is the fasteners, which, as you can see, it's a big mess. Now I'm sorting that out soon. This drawer down here used to be the junk drawer, and it's kind of not set like that at the moment. I've got a set of drills here, which are actually my dad's. An old hammer drill, which we don't really use anymore, but I don't think it'd be really worth selling. I got an angle grinder, some old batteries I need to get rid of. Coming over here, in this cupboard here, we have just some general parts, put in another plastic box like that, from things I've taken apart. That's an old drill, things like that. Got a torch, got some green sand there, which I was using for casting. Down here we've got another box which I've put paint supplies, so brushes, rollers, trays, that type of thing. I've just got some rags here which I need to probably put in another place. I got an old little toolbox thing from a kid. And yeah, it's a little air compressor there. Close that up. Over here in the corner, I store all my kind of sheet lengths. So I've got plywood, that type of thing there. A few bits of more boards as well. Over here, got the fan, which is definitely welcome in the summer right now. It's very hot and humid. Here as well, I don't think you've seen a whole lot of this. This is a Carbotech sander, disc and belt sander combination. And I got this, what, 5-6 years ago or so. And I definitely use it a lot, or I used it a lot more than I do now. But I still use it a lot now. And I have made like knives and stuff before, and I haven't really used this, which might seem strange, as it seems like a belt grinder type of thing. However, it is quite underpowered, especially when using this on metal, big bits of metal. So I usually try and keep it just for timber, really handy for squaring up bits on here, as well as rounding and doing type of stuff like that. I do use it for smaller bits of metal, bits of rod and things like that. It's handy to clean up. But yeah, it's also kind of really hard to find belt sizes for this. It's some weird dimension. Anyway, got a shop back down here. Great bit of kit. Just a random sawhorse there with some C-clamps behind it. And this is a workbench where I do most of my work. As you can see down the bottom, From last video, I've organised my sash clamps, which I found cheap at an auction, along the back of the wall there vertically, which is really nice and neat. It's got an old stool. It's a nice solid timber workbench, which you kind of need for woodworking. Well, you don't need, but definitely great. Just a cheap kind of machine spice, I think is what you call it. I've got some timber soft drawers I made on it. A drill, hand sanding, water, 3-in-1 oil, some drill bits, hex bits, that type of thing. In this drawer here, I keep sanding stuff, so I've got a little caddy I made there, which is handy, and things that I use a lot, so pencils, knives, that type of thing. I've put screws in here to organise my grinding stuff on the side there, and a dustpan and brush. And here, I don't think you've seen, this is a scroll saw, which I don't think I've used on the videos, but again, I had that back a few years ago when I was doing a lot of woodwork, and I was doing a lot of finer woodwork, or scroll work is what they call it. And it's a really great tool, fairly underrated if you do say so myself. A lot of people use band saws, which are great for thicker material and stuff, but that's really good for doing detailed material, fairly thick as well. Anyway, moving on, we've got some extension leads there. We've got the grinder here. This is a great bit of a grinder. Really nice and powerful for what it is. Yeah, that shouldn't be going out anytime soon. Got my attachments there. I made this stand for it, which is a great stand. However, if I was making another one, I would remember to put some gussets on it, as it's sturdy, but it still bends quite a bit. And down here, we've just got a fire extinguisher, which probably every shop should have. And we've got some stuff behind there, which is a bit of an old railroad track, which I got from, with my anvil, which I made over there, which I used to forge on. And yeah, that's my shop. Single bay garage. I'm blessed to be able to use a space like this. But yeah, it's not a whole lot of space for some people, but very good amount of space that I can use organized for not only the stuff I do, but also just for general house maintenance. So yeah. Okay everyone, so there it is. I hope you enjoyed it. So again, this is mostly for woodworking, this shop, but I also do use it for metalwork, obviously, filing, sharpening, that type of thing. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Tune in on Thursday for another video. I try and upload twice a week. And yeah, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, everyone.